And not only is everything which is actually interesting just part of this kid's fantasy, but there also is a subplot where he's being chased by bank robbers, and he escapes the bank robbers by hiding out in his fantasy version of Monster Island. It's fucking stupid. Now, didn't Darkness redo that movie? He might have. So, now, I have discussed the worst in the franchise. Now, the question also asked about my favorite film in the series, and that one is even easier. My favorite film in the entire franchise is Destroy All Monsters. That one probably had the best script. It had the best voice acting if we are talking about the English dub. And it also was the first film to actually feature a shit ton of monsters in the same film. And plus it also was the namesake for a video game that was released on the GameCube and on the Xbox. Now that film also has a big problem with it, and the problem has nothing to do with the film itself. The problem comes with the only version of the film, or rather the only DVD that has been released of the film thus far. Allow me to explain for those of you who have never bought Destroy All Monsters on DVD. First of all, it is definitely worth it to buy it on DVD simply because it is a fantastic movie. But it's missing a lot of things that most DVDs have. Example, it doesn't have a menu, and it doesn't have chapter breaks. You basically pop it in and the movie starts, and if you're stupid enough to press either the menu buttons or the channel skip buttons, the movie restarts. Mind you, the movie is roughly about 90 minutes long. So if you actually were stupid enough to go and accidentally press the chapter button instead of the pause button, you have to fast forward through a good chunk of the film in order to get back to where you fucking were. Now, I have heard that Sony is working on a brand new release, which is tying in with their current set of DVDs. Valis, welcome. And this DVD, which is supposed to be coming out, is going to have the English version. It's going to have the Japanese version. It's probably going to have commentary. It's probably going to have trailers. It's actually going to have bonus features. I will happily go out and buy that thing, because that is my favorite film in the entire franchise. It's definitely worth it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And also, for everyone who's curious, I really should mention that, yes, I'm a big fan of that franchise. I'm missing only six of the films on DVD, and that's because, well, 4 of them I still haven't purchased, and the other 2 are not out on DVD yet in any way, shape, or form, so I'm waiting for somebody to actually release those. Now, Tom here is asking about DCE's latest series, which is the condensed series. First of all, I should ask, prior to talking about this, how many people here are subbed to RandomDCE? I'm just kind of curious here. I'm basically just sort of gauging the room a little bit. Okay. A bunch of you are, and some of you aren't. Well, first of all, allow me to give a little plug here, because he actually is a friend of mine. Let me just type in his screen name here. If you guys click on this link and you go and you check out his stuff, you will see that he actually has been doing a series of videos lately, which is called the Condensed Series, which is basically where he takes a property, a franchise, a series, whatever, and he basically does a very quick abridged series of it, and it's fucking hysterical. It really is. It honestly is some funny stuff, and I'm saying that because, essentially because, DCE has always done really solid work, and I personally would recommend him at any time. And let me think. And so far in this new series, he has basically done condensed versions of the Spider-Man movies, the Batman movies, the Mega Man series. See here, Cena, R-Truth, Power Rangers. Well, I should specify it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm probably missing one. In fact, I almost know for a fact I'm fucking missing one. But I can say that all of them are... Oh yeah, Star Wars and classic Sonic, yeah. And all of those are really fucking funny. So I would highly recommend you guys go over there and check them out. So let me see what else have we got here. Actually, dude, I still haven't had a chance to read it yet, dude. And I probably will check it out soon. So, let's see here. What else have we got here? What do I think is the worst anime in my opinion? Well, I should mention that there are a lot of anime series I just flat out hate. But I think that the one that I hate the most, and it has to do with the circumstances going into it, it would have to be Bleach. I suffered through 20 episodes, and Bleach went fucking nowhere. And then my cousin loaned me those goddamn DVDs, told me it gets better in the second season, and I came very, very close to telling him to fuck off. So yeah, if I seriously had to pick a worst anime ever, it would have to be Bleach. Bleach is just absolute shit. Thing is though that I honestly really haven't had a chance to see all of these shows. I can't see anything like Naruto or Chaos or Acid Power. That was so beautiful. He was the guy who actually made me interested in watching wrestling. I was really interested in seeing Roberts wrestle, and he put on some of the best matches in the WWF in the late 80s. Now, most hated, a lot of people would probably assume I'm going to say Cena. But no. Because even though Cena sucks, the reason why Cena sucks is because he's a poor man's knockoff of the one person I would truly say is my most hated. Somebody who I absolutely despise. And that's The Rock. The reason why I hate The Rock is because, first of all, The Rock cannot wrestle. He's never been able to fucking wrestle. The Rock has zero in-ring talent. And the man essentially just, getting, famous off of his supposed awesome promo work. Problem is that his promos are ridiculously cut and paste. It's all the same shit every single promo. He basically lives off of catchphrases and memes, which basically means that every single fault I have when it comes to Doug Walker is done even worse by the fucking Rock. It's really sad. Because Rock is also trying way too hard to actually get people to laugh. And I am not a fan. I have never been a Rock fan. So, honestly, that would have to be why I'd make him my most hated wrestler. The man just sickens. Because, well, I actually have already I've already gone through all of it. He cannot wrestle. And he cannot cut a decent promo without having to dip into his bottomless, endless supply of really shitty catchphrases. It just really sucks. Kingman, what's up, dude? So, let's see here. What do I think of The Undertaker? Well, The Undertaker actually has always been a very interesting character, and the man has always been able to put on really good matches. So, the thing is, though, guys, that, at least to me, The Undertaker is beginning to get way past his prime. And I hope and pray that he decides to retire soon, because really it's just getting a little bit sad watching him go out there and wrestle. So, Jojo Man, well shit, dude, man, by all means, man, ask away. So what else have we got in here? What is my favorite Nintendo 64 game? Well, it actually is a tie, and it's a tie because both games are essentially identical, barring essentially a roster change. And those two games are WrestleMania 2000 and WCW NWO Revenge. Those fucking games are, at least to me, probably some of the best wrestling games out there, second only to Fire Pro Wrestling Returns on the PS2, and I really have got to stop sucking off that fucking game. So, alright, so, let's see, have I played WCW Mayhem? Oh god, yeah, dude. Oh yes, Mayhem. WCW's first game released by EA. The one thing I can say about WCW Mayhem is that if you happen to shut off your fucking brain, you actually can have a little bit of fun with it. You know what I mean? It's just that frickin' game. It just has tons and tons of problems going for it. The thing though that kind of sucks is that if you happen to look past those problems, you actually are finding a really solid and really decent wrestling engine. So really, I mean, that actually is sort of the sad part. And if you really want a shitty fucking game, a shitty wrestling game from fucking EA, you don't have to look any further than WCW